Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where my guest and I play some movie roulette and pick something random off my extremely large and completely random watch list. And joining me is our fearless leader here at the SPDM Crew. It's Mike Hilty.
Hoi hoi. Hello. How's it going?
Doing all right. We're going to have a lot of feelings to talk about
Yeah,
as we're talking about one of IMDb's top 250.
it's
It's,
actually in the top 50.
yeah,
That's
crazy.
that's pretty high praise for a movie like this.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this is the French Forrest Gump. It's that movie that has that emotion that really grabs you. It's feel good. It's so
Mhm.
feel good.
Yeah.
And that is the Intouchables. This was released in fall 2011 in France, budgeted at $10.8 million and made $426.6 million. How did this make over $400 million? Because it's a great feel good story. That's how. And it struck the masses
Mhm.
right in a sweet spot. But this is still wild. This made 40 times its budget.
There's all there like every year there's a movie out there that is wildly successful and they're like, how? Like we've seen movies like this all the time and I'm just wondering how did it happen? And it's just sometimes it's just right place, right time. That's it.
Well, and I'm going to reference my last note here because you've seen this movie before. It came out in 2019. It was called The Upside. Here in the United States, starring Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, because that remade this film because they really, really, really wanted to remake this movie in
and if
English.
and it didn't work.
No, it was a hollow husk
It was yeah, it
compared to
was
what this movie is. This stars Omar Sy, who, why is he not a giant global star? This charismatic man who
it's
played
because he
Bishop.
was wasted in X-Men Days of Future Past as Bishop. Well, that's not the only reason, but like it's too bad that he is not more famous in the States because I think if more people would have seen this, he had a TV show on for a while that he was really great into. So yeah, I don't get it.
Well, I'm Meatloaf right now because you took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. So, and also starring Francois Cluzet. Um, I'm not very good with French. I do my best. This is indeed based on a true story discovered in a documentary, À la vie, à la mort. Um, which I'm guessing roughly translates to "as I live, as I die," something close to that. I don't speak
Yeah,
French.
I would say that.
Most viewed film in the history of France before Lucy came out from Luc Besson.
Well, yeah,
Well,
that
well,
yeah, okay. hmm hmm
Psy won the Caesar Award for Best Actor for this. And yes, this was indeed remade because they needed to make an English language remake to a successful foreign language film because of course.
hmm
But no, I had seen The Upside first, and then I watched
Oh
this movie,
no.
and I'm like, it
What
doesn't even
happened?
compare.
What happened? Like
They
I
cast
just
Kevin Hart.
uh, I don't even think that
They
was
originally wanted Idris Elba.
okay, that would have been great if Idris Elba. Okay, fine. Yeah. Kevin Hart being in it. I didn't want to completely blame Kevin Hart for
You
this,
can't take
but
him seriously. And
no.
honestly, it's hard to take him seriously, even when he's trying to be serious.
Mhm.
But we're not here to talk about The Upside. Um,
It's
that's
hard
not on
not
my watch list.
it's hard
Um,
not to compare them like a
yes.
little bit though and just say how the French version of this film just captures the spirit of this friendship just so much better
Yep.
and it just shows just like it gives a little bit of agency to both characters that I don't think that the American remake does. And it's just too bad because I think the story of this friendship, it's beautiful. It's a little uncomfortable at times, which you'd expect something like this to be a little uncomfortable at times because this is like the epitome of like an odd couple in a
Mhm.
way. Because um, when Driss is picked, I was like, really, this guy? And like everybody sees it, everybody is wondering the same thing, like why this guy? But the fact that he brings so much life and levity to this otherwise very dreary and very just hollow home is just it's refreshing to see.
Yep. And the description of this film, after he becomes a quadriplegic from a paragliding accident, an aristocrat hires a young man from the projects to be his caregiver. And this film does work on that level of the classism
Hmm.
and that divide and closing that gap. And I really appreciate them how Philippe and Driss build this connection across that. And there's definitely culture clash in it. And Driss is very like African immigrant coded where extremely blunt
Hmm.
and direct and go for it. Because that's
Hmm.
Driss in a nutshell. He's not gonna like
It's not gonna.
tiptoe around
Yeah, he's not gonna
issues.
beat around the bush. Yeah.
No, he's gonna go right for it. And I think Philippe appreciates that kind of approach. And at first it's a little adversarial,
Hmm.
but like just seeing them build this connection. And I love how this film starts
Yeah.
because it starts and we're just dropped in the action. Philippe and his depression beard. And Driss just flooring it in this
Hmm.
car. And I have to say, this movie has some of the most beautiful use of earth, wind, and fire.
Yes, it does.
Second,
Absolutely.
second to Robot Dreams, which
Mm.
I could never hear Earth, Wind, and Fire again in the same way after watching Robot Dreams. But the use of September and Boogie Wonderland. One of my favorite scenes in this whole movie is them trying to show each other their culture and their music.
Hmm.
And Driss is just talking all of this classical music. Um, did he call it SpongeBob at one point?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then Boogie Wonderland comes on and he
Yes, he does. Yeah.
cuts a rug to paraphrase Oscar Isaac from Ex Machina.
Hmm.
I'm gonna cut a effing rug. Um, like I just love that energy. And if you to filmmakers out there, if you ever need a song to just breathe in immense joy into your film, pick an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Absolutely.
100%. But like I love their moments and like the shaving.
Hmm.
He leaves the Hitler mustache. He's like, nine, nine. I'm like, Philippe can't do anything about it because can't move. But
Hmm.
like he dispersing that on him was wild.
Hmm.
And it's such a fun moment, and it just really captures their unique energy together.
And this is where also, because you mentioned the classism in this, and if you strip all of the classism stuff out of the way, this is really just it's two people who are just getting to know each other. And you
Mm,
see, like you said, the adversarial moments, particularly at the beginning, and also just the way that like the rest of the staff and some of the people around Philippe just treats Driss as well, because a lot of people don't trust him because he's got a record a little
yep.
bit, and a lot of people just don't don't think that Driss has anybody's best interest at heart, and they don't think that he's going to take this seriously.
Yeah.
And I think the way that their friendship and like even just like their working relationship at first begins
Mm,
to evolve, that just Driss doesn't look at him the same way that like everybody else does, because like Driss isn't like, oh hey,
oh,
how's it going, what's going on, like
the
he's
pity.
he's not afraid to just dish it back to him and just like push back on
He's
stuff, which
not
is good.
intimidated
Hmm.
by the wealth
Hmm.
and the place in society or any of that stuff. And that's what I love so much about Driss. And like, this is an electric performance by Omar Sy. Like, he goes all out.
Hmm.
And he's just infectious to watch on screen. And there's a subtlety to Cosette with his performances, Philippe, because like you could go really big with this performance and very woe is me
Hmm.
kind of performance, but like a lot of his struggle is very silent.
Yeah.
And it's his facial expressions, it's the bubbling underneath the surface frustration, but they just bring out so much wonderful aspects with each other.
Hmm.
What how about Driss's dynamic with was it Magali?
At first it's like, dude, stop being weird. But then, just they eventually just come to terms with the fact that like they can have like a okay relationship and kind of go from there. Like I just that's just one of like a few people around the house that's like when you slowly see that like he's winning more and more people
Mhm.
over.
She's
um
the last one.
she is the last one, but she gets there just like everyone else did, because um Driss is just so, you're right, he is very abrasive, he is very
Mhm.
direct, but there is charm there, but also I think one of the things that kind of attracts Philippe to him is that he's just so alive as well,
Yeah.
and just very very expressive, and he likes maybe not the exact type of art and music that he does, but it's different, and they're not shying away from, just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad either.
Well, and I think it gets a little uncomfortable with like how aggressive he is trying to
Oh
do
yeah.
advances. I do think it's funny because she embarrasses him
Oh
a
yeah,
couple of
she.
times
Mhm.
and he totally deserved it. And I appreciate the film at least like put him in that place. And then when it's revealed what was really going on the whole entire time and it's just like, okay, I see what's going on here. And, he could just try to communicate instead of just, coming on very strong. But that's his personality. Like, he's the kind of person that, like, comes at it. And that dynamic that he has with Philippe's daughter and then the boyfriend, I want those croissants.
Oh yeah,
I want those
absolutely.
croissants every morning. And that kind of dynamic. I guess my biggest criticism of the film is I feel like they allude to some pretty heavy stuff with like Driss's life.
Mhm.
And I feel like some of the stuff they don't really confront in a really like deep and meaningful way. Like the whole like gang relation
Yep.
stuff seems like it's kind of like written off pretty easy.
Hmm.
And it's just like I know that's not the focus of the story, so I guess like
But
they're
it's
not gonna
but
spend the time.
it's
But like if you introduce it,
pay it off,
yeah,
right? Or
like
like
don't
give
like
us.
tie up in a bow with like, oh, I'm gonna quit. Okay. All
Cool,
right.
cool.
Cool. I don't
Yeah.
think that's how that works.
No, it's definitely not. And I say that as if like I know. And but but yeah, that's it's there's a lot of like heavier stuff that is just very surface level.
Yep.
And I kind of feel that way a little bit um with just the whole notion of just his wife dying as well.
Hmm.
We don't dive that much into it, and then we kind of just evolve into this storyline where um Philippe has been like corresponding with someone, and finally getting the courage and the guts to like meet up with her, but like I don't know. Like, I think that the whole thing with his wife dying is just like, yep, she died, no kids, moving on. It's like, no, there's a lot that's going on here that I think is part of why you're kind of in this funk too. So,
Which I feel like those are the reasons why I couldn't quite put this as like loved it.
mhm,
I love the experience, and I can 100% see why this is a beloved film on IMDb, because IMDb is not the same thing as like Letterboxd,
no.
and especially not Rotten Tomatoes, where like IMDb is about most of those films are crowd pleasing, engaging films that people love. This is extremely engaging and crowd pleasing, and it would make a lot of sense why people loved it. It's just there's a humanity about it. There's a humility about it.
Mhm,
And it's just so charming. And I love their dynamic. I also appreciate like it feels a little less Hollywood-ish,
mhm.
because like it isn't like a big to-do that he leaves.
No.
Like I was expecting like big
What?
emotional
It's
kind
like,
of like thing. It's
don't leave or come back.
well,
No.
and then it's a very matter of fact that leads into the opening scene.
Mhm.
Which, like, the fact that Philippe goes full blown, like, faking
Oh, see, yeah, that like going
the
full
the
epileptic.
two of them are a menace to society.
They are, but
They're
we
fu- they're
we
our menace to society.
we don't get that payoff unless we go through this whole experience,
Yep.
though. And whereas some of the heavier stuff doesn't get the payoff that you and I hoped. Like, I would have loved if they would have dove in a little bit more into his accident, like the paragliding accident, but they
Hmm.
didn't because they know that that would probably drag things down quite a bit, and they try to keep this as lighthearted as they can make it while dealing with some like heavier topics. But
Hmm.
that still doesn't change the fact that this skews very heavily into just the relationship between these two, and just how you go from coworkers to friends to like best friends now. And like, have you seen the documentary for this?
I have not.
I haven't either. And um I
I'm
know after
interested.
I know after seeing this, I was more curious about the documentary as opposed to the American version of this, where I was like, I'm good. Thanks.
It just feels like this should not be like one of the issues about the American remake is it does get that super melodramatic kind of, and it's like this is very French.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of French cinema, and this handles things in a very French kind of way.
Hmm.
And that's one of the biggest challenges of adapting foreign language films and like from other cultures is like a lot of it's ingrained. Like what really makes this work is that. And it's all really down to casting too.
Hmm.
Omar Sy was absolutely perfect for this. And how is this man not a bigger star? But whatever.
We'll
Whatever.
I mean, never say never. It's probably not too late, but it sucks that,
Mhm.
well, okay, I think he is a big star, just not here. And
Correct.
I
See, I
mean,
was thinking that same thing. I'm being an ignorant American. Well, if he's not popular here, he's
he's
not
not
anything.
popular anywhere else. Ah!
No, I think he's very popular in France. I wish he became a bigger global star because he has the talent to do that, and
Mhm,
he showed that in every ounce of this performance, which I
mhm,
loved from start to finish. But
mhm,
no, this is a really charming film, and I'm glad I watched it. I'm certainly gonna own it. It's on my to get list now,
mhm.
my ever growing uh wish list of physical media to buy.
Mhm.
Which, to be frank, I haven't really bought a ton over the past couple years. But,
Well,
like,
how can you? Like, you can't go into a store and just peruse stuff and just like randomly pick things out. as much anymore because so many places they're not selling physical media anymore. Which, like, one of the Targets around here, they don't sell movies anymore. It's like, really? Like, that sucks because
True.
that used to be where I got all of, like, not all of them, but like a lot of my movies is just going to
Hmm.
Target and seeing what's new and what came out.
Now it's buying them from a specific boutique distributors
Or
or
online.
Amazon.
Yep, that's it.
So, but those are our thoughts on the Intouchables. But Mike, thank you as always for coming on and talking movies with me.
Thanks for randomly picking this one. I
Yeah,
wanted to be known that this is a movie I that I have seen. I saw before Shane. Like, one out of like the hundreds of movies that him and I have talked about, and I got one finally.
there we go. Mike got that on me. But thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's that feel good movie that you go to that you just absolutely adore? And make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. There's so many shows with all different types of topics. Certainly, you can find something that you'll really enjoy. And if you want to join the crew, reach out to us on our website. And you could either become a guest on a show like this
Mhm.
and play that movie roulette and accept whatever fate gives you. Um, or you want to start your own podcast, make sure to reach out. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. And most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.